Welcome back to my lovely IHP community and the 5D Collective. I have something that I'm going to read to you and then we'll chit chat for a little bit. Stupidity. It doesn't rain or move forward. Love and life always win in the end and begin a new cycle. Our lovely 5D frequency. It's all about being your true self and speaking that truth with self-mastery and integrity, which prevents, by the way, all of those who do this from being an idiot. And that's because those idiots are the same ones that Schopenhauer talks about. Yes, he says, if you want to reach a large audience, appeal to idiots, insecure people, the ones who don't know how to tend to themselves, but they also don't want to go to therapy. So on this lovely day, the 5D Collective, we know that from nothing to everything with a new gown, that we can make the impossible possible thanks to sciences, spirituality coming together and sharing how secure attachment individuals are whole, open-hearted, open-minded, and that's why we are not susceptible to the manipulation of any of those shame, leadership, public figure tactics, who also use wordings and belief systems that instead pull the wool over, well, the insecure attachment people who buy into it, they're all adaptive child parts together. So it's Peter Pan with Lost Boys, okay? So for secure attachment, healthy others, what we have is that we own our sense of self. We have chosen awareness, accountability, and regulation skills in mindfulness ways. So mindfulness is a type of lifestyle we apply as well as spirituality. Our inner child is whole with a whole self, and we embody intelligence because our thoughts and feelings are not manipulable by any other nobody, no person outside of you can talk you into having a way of thinking that they have, but that doesn't mean you're inflexible to information. It means that you will choose. I, for example, Maria, am a 5D mystic in the Enlightenment Soul Age group, and I'm a fully secure person, and I have secure attachment. Okay, so you keep talking and tell me I'm something different. I won't believe you, but come to me and give me a conversation about, I don't know, the sky is blue with the code, and I'm gonna have a good time. Okay, so when I say that you own your thoughts and feelings, it's not where you cast down and you know everything. It's where you take ownership of what is yours. And then as a differentiated self, you exchange thoughts. So if I say I disproved God, which I didn't say that, but when Robert Sapolsky says it, I don't even flinch because you don't disprove anything. It's just a word. You can't disprove God, by the way. You can make a good case for it, maybe, but not really. I mean, that one actually, no, you can make a good case for the free will thing, but other than that. So a person who's empowered is this. It's called, you can keep talking. I know when you will have this proven. It will have been shown to me with a report that gives me quantitative analysis, and there's a specific way. Okay, so I'm just saying that's the only time I'll sit and I'll listen if I want to, because usually these are things that are uninteresting, like gravity or whatever. But then we can have fun with the ones who want to disprove the moon and reality. Okay, so you get my drift, right? Okay, good. That's why for us, people who are using Lucifer, devils, demons, we're like, wow, keep on talking about that boring stuff. Anybody have anything new? Let's go. Come on over, healthy self-worth people. So again, we embody intelligence because we're not blinded by an ego that instead for them is blinded. So unhealthy self-worth others, they are dominated by a blind ego that leads them with divisiveness, competitiveness, low self-esteem, dysregulation, shame cycles, and in and out group mentality. They have facade leaders who, well, let's just put it this way, nightmare narratives. Ugh. Push-pull, survival, dysregulated stories. Ugh. And they do watch a lot of shit like that. Again, so anything in dysregulated nervous system is a insecure, attached, unhealthy other who doesn't know self-soothing in a healthy way. And so they don't have self-worth, they're not self-regulating, they're not healthy because they have no integrated brain, and they're not even living alive. They're living pseudo-aliveness, which makes them even more. And I'm going to do that because, see, to an inner child like them, like, get away from me. They're not an energy vampire. You're just a person who needs a good therapist before you try to do any, get out of my space, stop enmeshing. Okay, so unhealthy others, they are not people who know that they're unhealthy until they want to go to get therapy, and then they get healthy. And that's because they start to learn to self-regulate. And so they will be able to speak like a human being from a love narrative at some point instead of a human suffering love narrative. The ones who don't, though, I did accept defeat a while back. So human suffering love narrative people, they like to talk to you about how much life weighs them down and how bitter they are and how envious and jealous and how their group leader is showing them why they're so special and why therapy is bad and, you know, stuff like that. So their small energy will be something you'll notice, the narrow state of consciousness and their uninteresting conversations as well. You will also notice that there's no inner child having fun, so we're going to kind of be like, okay, I want to go and head on out with the healthy self-worth people, but we'll be polite enough to, you know, not mention anything. And they lack self-regulation, accountability, and awareness, which is why we're not interested in any type of, again, how can I put it down? People who lack intimacy lack depth. And so yeah, that's what it is. Torture chamber stuff, not really interesting. And the fact that they belittle and they have smirky comments, yeah, not interesting. Again, intellectually, it's really boring when you don't find people who know how to have a good time. On the other hand, for healthy, we do. So the unhealthy public figures and people, they have low emotional, mental, and physical intelligence. It's gonna be clear because their stories and patterns are always the same. Lucifer and evil and people are stupid and they're all like pissy off, and again there's no fun. There's no love, there's no fun. They're just a little wheel. And so on that note, the insecure, unhealthy public figures and others, they bring forth judgments and characterological distinctions and shame. They're shaming ways. See, I'm teasing them. I won't shame. They think that by saying words to me, they could shame me potentially. You'll notice because they're going to try to tell you how to be and how to think. And you're going to be like, whoa. Yeah, okay, so, and that's why then they say, what are you, stupid? Not really. But, you know, I thought, since we're not having a good time, I'm going to go. And that is where we leave blinded egos to their own, you know, Diego family. And they can follow all the facades. They're having a good time. You remember the time of the emperors when they would distract people and the people would be entertained? Yeah, some people know how people get entertained. That's the ones of us who do not lack the intelligence. So, lack of intelligence is lack of life. And pseudo-live people are not alive. Lack of movement, yes, they fizzle out. Oh, and they die. Yeah, they die inside. And they don't have anything to offer. They make empty promises. They disappear. They go silent. They don't pick up and take accountability or responsibility. They don't take emotional depth seriously. You see, if you don't take this seriously, you're not here with me. So pseudo-live people, they don't know regulation. Unhealthy others follow unhealthy others, or they go get therapy, which will make them then our healthy community. Because stupidity doesn't reign or move forward, love and life always moves forward because, you know, life doesn't auto-destruct itself. And love, you have love when you're a securely attached 1-year-old. The biochemistry of fear is not one that is within the body of an enlightened, self-empowered person, which is why we know no Lucifer, no evil, no devil, no demon. Nope, just a sad story. People who don't want to go get good therapy. I mean, gosh, it's the year 2024. You'd think they would do it by now, huh, God? Yeah, I know. So, dark matter, dark energy, as a mystic, I can share with you all that the future will look really, really great. And the only ones who don't know it are the same ones who, well, they don't have a relationship. Not the way they think they do. The embodiment of anything that would be in our lovely sphere and that you are all a part of is you and I, and it's love. Always, not just sometimes. And fear, it's really sad because, see, fear can be loved. It can be transmuted. If only that disowned self allowed itself to get a hug. And then allowed itself to go and get good therapy instead of saying, I fought it hard to believe the first 3 years of life mean anything. And so, the ones who want to believe that modern therapy and healing is the system trying to set you up to keep you trapped, those are idiots. IDIOTS. Because only an idiot will believe that good therapy is trying to keep you stuck. And that again, those same people, like Robert Sapolsky points out, have been determined. So they do have a little bit of free will. The free will is if they come across someone like me to say, you know what, I'm going to go look into Patrick Tiahan because I want my inner and outer well-being. Now if they say, that's a stupid, stupid lady, I think she knows nothing. Or, she's an evil bitch and an evil witch because she's a Reiki master. Again, so there's a little wiggle room for free will because there's a lot of social media online. Some will come across all of us. So let them know, any of you who are here smiling with me, let them know, no Lucifer evil. There's Patrick McNamara, look him up. He's a neuroscientist. He proves there's no demon that possesses anyone. Also, again, on a serious note, besides the sciences as a mystic, the plane of the mind's eye, the only reason the 4D collective perceives it is because they do pseudo-live. They don't take their mental health seriously. They don't head themselves into a door with a Pat Ogden, sensory motor, somatics, child parts work, or EMDR, and they don't get healed, and their brain completely needs them to go, but they don't want to. So they stay, like Patrick McNamara points out, the fear receptor goes wonky. And so their trauma memory is trying to heal, but they don't go and get themselves tended to. And as he says, you don't have to go through nightmare after nightmare after nightmare. But these individuals, they have clairs. I see them. I see them online in structural dissociation, see them with their channeling. I see when they're on their shadow. I'm in my shadow side, and they're actively not doing anything healthy for themselves. So please share with them. There's Patrick McNamara. He gets interviewed. He's on YouTube, or you can reach out. And we will be back with more. But yeah, the part that makes me completely happy is knowing that scientists prove what I knew as a kid. You're all my brothers and sisters. And every person does have a heart, even the ones who choose to armor themselves shut. But I won't be near them, and they won't be near me, because I'm a mystic, and I'm a 5D1, so you know what they do with us. They call us names. Ooh, I'm scared. Do you know I have people who are afraid of me? Now that makes me laugh. But I sometimes try to remember that because I really don't understand how anyone can be afraid of a 4'9" woman. Plus, I'm so playful. But you know what I do know people don't like? They don't like the truth. Yeah, so when you give people the truth and they don't want to hear it, they're like, she's an awful lady. How dare she not judge people? She don't want to put people in prison. I don't like the prisons the way they are, but I'm not a person that is like the entire law. I'm one person. I go vote. This happened. I'm just going to end us here and leave you on a cliffhanger, but my regular listeners know all about it. Have a good one.